cow. I've got some spawned cow eggs, so I'll just... There we go. So we've got a cow, and then the other thing is to make this whole thing run. I'll just turn that rain off. The other thing is we need to set up a timer to actually send the signal. So let's put some red eye wire there, and oh yeah, we need an empty bucket in the system because this won't work unless we actually start with one. So we might actually, I'll stick an empty bucket in here, and then I'll put a timer down like that. There goes an empty bucket. Okay. So the empty bucket's in the deployer, but it's not actually filling. I wonder why. I wonder if it's too low, or too high, sorry. Maybe it should be one down. Okay. I might just cut camera, and I'll move that deployer down one block, and we'll see if it works. If it does, then we'll go and move all the rest of them. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that apparently was the problem. You can't have 2 blocks high. I thought it needed to be 2 blocks high. It needs to be 1 block high. So the deployer's got to be down here. So I've just stuck one in the ground, in the bottom of the wall there. Gave it some signal from this jacketed cable. That was the problem. So I'm going to move the other deployers, and I'll be back in a minute, and we can watch the system happen. Okay, I've just changed all the deployers down to be on that ground level height. It actually probably looks cooler now because you've got this the red alloy, jacketed red alloy wire, which look a bit like bars. But yeah, so that's ready to go. I've just got the timer turned off. I've stuck a new bucket in here, and we're ready to go. So we'll turn it on. We'll see how it goes. So there goes. Okay, so there was obviously already a bucket in the system from before, but that's okay. We can have 2. And there's milk coming along. I assume that's going in there. Maybe. Bit hard to tell. No. Oh, this deployer's not deploying for some reason. It was deploying. Why is not deploying now? Because I didn't actually change that. That's interesting. Okay, just it appears to be an issue with the deployer. I turned it around and put a different Buildcraft tank here, and for some reason they just don't want to use buckets. This milk that I put in here, that's just me testing to make sure it does actually work. It's just the deployer doesn't want to do it. So now we're at plan B. And don't worry, there is a plan B. This was just my first choice. So we can't use tanks and send it as liquid. That's okay, we don't have to. So I'm going to get rid of this, and we'll try something new. So we don't need the liquid duct. That's alright. It's not the end of the world. Okay, and then we need some. We actually don't even need this stuff, or that piece of tube, and we'll get rid of that. Okay, now we'll swap our redstone tube for our normal pneumatic tube, and what we're going to do is that, and then we're going to going to put in a... Actually, we still want the full buckets to come down here, so let's put in the filter there, because the full buckets need to come through here. So we're going to put him in there and connect up that, and those full buckets will go in whichever one of these has a free inventory. And then what we want is let's put a filter there for empty buckets, and we'll put hang on, so we'll put some tube, and we're going to put some redstone tube here, and we're going to put a retriever down. And what the retriever is going to do is find us the nearest empty bucket and pull it out and send it back in here to be filled. And I think I should be able to put it like that. Yeah, there we go. No, we want it the other way around. Yeah, there we go. So it needs to come out of here and back into the filling station. Okay, so let's put some normal tube in there. Let's make it daytime again. And then, so that should send full buckets in here. They should find the first inventory they can go in, which is one of these. And then it should pull out, actually at the same time, because it's on the same tick, it should pull out an empty bucket. So we'll put in an empty bucket. There we go. Now this guy needs power. That's the only reason is why this was plan B, because it didn't require a power source. So now that we need a power source, let's put in battery box and some solar panels, and we'll make a small solar array. That. There we go. And we'll connect them up with some blue alloy wire. Okay, so you should be filling up. Yep, cool. Alright. So we'll try that. So this is plan B. Not the only plan spare that I've got, but we'll start with this. It's the next easiest. So now we just need to put a bucket. We might actually have 4. We'll try 4. One for each engine and one for each deployer, so they can all fill at the same time, and they should be able to all empty at the same time. And we'll turn on the timer. Okay, so he's coming in here and he's going in there, and the engine's warming up. The next one isn't, but now he is. Now I am noticing that these empty ones aren't coming back out, so that might be a problem. And it may be that the retriever can't retrieve through a filter. So how do we get around that? We might actually be able to get rid of that entirely, because, yeah, there we go. There we go, that's better. Because nothing can come inside this way, because it's an output only, so we don't actually need a filter there. And we shouldn't have anything coming up here and then going this way, because these inventories are actually closer. So that's actually filling up. It is filling up. We haven't got anything in the last two yet, but that's okay. We'll probably find that these may not even ever get used because of the way the speed at which they're rotating, the buckets are rotating around. So, yeah. Let's see if we can spot some of them. So, where are our buckets? Oh, okay. Okay, that's something I didn't anticipate, is when all the buckets go in one deployer. Okay, so that would be the advantage of having just one deployer and a smaller cell. But I wasn't sure I wanted a smaller cell, because it's a bit awkward for the cow as it is. Well, we can try that. We can try that. That's cool. Let's just be mean. Sorry, cow. So they're all going in there. One of the buckets is here, but that's okay. We'll just move him. We'll stick him over. We can just put all the buckets in there. That's alright. So with a whole lot of buckets going through the system, this should actually fill up. Now, when one's full, it should go to the next. So even with 10, it may not actually get to the third. Yeah, see, this one's full, so they're skipping it because it hasn't used. Like it hasn't got enough space to actually empty the bucket that's in there, so they're skipping and going to the next. Okay, now they're coming down the line. Okay, so that's what will happen, is when the first one will have priority, and it'll go to the next, and we'll fill them up gradually down the line, so they're all filling the third one now. Okay, so these are all actually running now, I think. Yeah, there we go. So the fourth one's running. And we can have a look at the energy production. Probably won't be great. Well, I'd say 0 probably isn't great. Oh, it's still warming up. Okay, let's go to this first one. These are 0 as well. No, this is 0. No, it's definitely not 0 because it's filling this. So it's not much. But it's, yeah, it's something, I suppose. Well, I know what it is. It's a proven system. It's a fair bit of resources spent on a very low amount of power income. But I suppose these engines are very cheap, really. It's a bit of bronze, some bronze gears, so you need some of the cheap materials like copper and tin. But that's it. And you can make, so you can make heaps. You can make, you know, a couple of dozen of them, and that might be enough to run a small workshop. So, yeah, or even, you know, you could have lots, really. And just think, all that energy from one cow. What if you had lots of these cells and lots of buckets? So yeah, anyway. That's a milk electricity generator right there. Hope you had fun though, enjoying that. I'll see you next time. Bye.